With the excitement of the Farming Island update drawing into its second day, something quite interesting has happened. Despite still being mayor, Technoblade seems to have lost most of his perks. My name is Derailious, and the question remains, is this intentional? But before we get into any of that, I want to say thank you guys for all the support recently, as it really does mean a ton, but only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. We are less than 5,000 subs away from YouTube rank, so let's make that final push. Without any further ado though, let's get right into the video. Starting off, the election room has actually been opened up with a bunch of the normal candidates inside, which means that Technoblade's mayorship will be ending within the next few days, which is pretty sad. However, although he is still mayor at the moment, some of his perks seem to have been shut off. A few hours ago, some noticed that the speed cap perk, as well as the skill XP perk, had been turned off. Both of these perks have been re-enabled, which makes me think that this was obviously just a bug. It's pretty interesting to see stuff like this happen, especially considering the timing of the new election opening up. Some people actually thought that this was intentional. Heading into the election room, we can see that there are 5 candidates as per usual. Clicking on the election box, we can see that Diana is currently winning with all 3 perks, and it's not even close. Starting from the left, Cole only has 1 perk, Diaz has 2 of their 3 total perks, Marina has 3 perks, and Aatrox only has 2. The only other contender here is Marina, and it's not even close. The Mythological Ritual is a great event to follow up Technoblade with due to its high overall returns on your investment. If you spend a ton of money on the Griffin pet and try to level it up to max, you will be making a ton of money with the possibility of getting Chimera books, which are worth a ton. Diana is the choice that you should go for here. Moving on from the mayor stuff, and another small piece of news, the Blood God Shrine has received another addition, as the 3rd relic has been found by the Blood Angel. This basically means that there are only 4 relics remaining until the shrine is fully powered up, and it does seem like that will be happening within the next week or so. I do believe that this will stick around even after Technoblade's mayorship ends, and will persist until it's completed. So we just have to wait and see what it does. For this next portion of the video, I'm going to be going over the quests on this island, as I do feel like it is pretty important to actually get these done. Some of them have pretty interesting unlocks, and others have less interesting unlocks, but are still pretty fun. Starting off with the windmill operator, he is at first located on the 2nd floor of the windmill, and upon speaking to him, he'll ask you to give him some items in order to repair the windmill. This is a pretty interesting and easy task. All you have to do is give him a stack of cobblestone and a stack of string, and upon doing so and speaking to him, you can see that he now acts as a farm merchant, which is pretty cool. He's located on the barn, obviously, in the same place the windmill used to be. Next up, once you head past the desert settlement, you can arrive at the treasure hunter's base. Basically how this works is that you will pay him a small fee, and he will tell you where the treasure is located, but it will be a relatively vague hint. The price goes up every time you do it, and you can do it once every 3 Skyblock days, so basically once every hour. Honestly, after a few times, I don't actually recommend doing this too much, as the price does go up quite a bit, and in reality you usually will not make your money back from the treasure, and sometimes you can't even find it due to how vague the clue actually is. Next up, heading east from the desert settlement, you can find the shepherd, who tells you that his sheep have a magical property, which allows them to regenerate wool incredibly fast. He'll tell you that he will reward you if you are able to shear all the sheep at once. I really recommend getting a friend for this. This is a relatively difficult task, and if you do it, you will be rewarded with some pelts, which are useful for getting the minions as part of the tracker area. Speaking of the tracker, how this basically works is that you will speak to Trevor the Trapper in this little cave at the back part of the Mushroom Island, and he will give you a mob to hunt. Depending on the difficulty of this mob, it can range from stupidly easy to stupidly hard, and it will reward you with a certain amount of pelts. Pelts can be used at Terry's shop here to actually get tier 12 farming minions, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I think this is a great way to continue adding tier 12 minions to the game, and now you can get 30 total minion slots if you max out every single one of them. Next up, we have the Hungry Hiker, who asks for a certain amount of food in order to be satiated with his hunger. Basically how this works is that you will get him the very specific amount of food that he asks for, and he'll be fine for 144 Skyblock days. which is quite a while. Last up, we have Jake, who is one of the most interesting NPCs I've ever seen. Basically, upon speaking to him, he will tell you that he wants to have animals in his house. And that means exactly what you think it does. You have to go to the bottom of the island, get a lead, and then bring a mob all the way up here, which is a real pain. But upon doing so, you'll actually be able to access a menu in which he will sell you some special items, notably the sheep axe. If you are able to bring a sheep into his house, he will be able to sell you this item for 1,000 coins. It has the item ability Sheep Specialist, and it will allow you to gain 2 extra drops upon killing a sheep. He is the same base item for pretty much every other type of mob you are able to bring to him, which makes a lot of sense. Honestly, these quests are some of the most interesting ones I've seen in Hypixel Skyblock, but I do understand the fact that they are relatively early game, so they can't really reward anything too great, which makes sense. I'm also pretty excited for the fact that Diana will be the next mayor, as the mythological ritual is a pretty great follow-up to Technoblade. On top of this, it was pretty interesting to see some of Technoblade's perks turned off, but since it seems like it was part of a bug, I don't actually think it was that big of an issue. Overall though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out everybody.